Welcome to Bearing Light, a podcast of the Georgia Bulletin, news source of the Catholic Archdiocese of Atlanta. I'm Nicole Golden, and with me today is Andrew Nelson.
Good morning, Nicole. How are you?
Thanks for being here with me.
Always good to be here. Excited for today's guest.
I know. We're joined today by Superintendent of Catholic Schools, Patty Childs, and Lauren Schell, Director of Leadership Development. And she's nodding her head. I got that. I got that right. I wasn't too sure mid-sentence there, but thank you for being here.
Thank you for having us.
We'd like to hear a little bit about your own journey into education. For some people, that starts as a very young person to want to be a teacher.
Very young age. Lining the dolls up, having your own classroom. I think that's a hallmark of all early teachers. Yes. So I knew that's what I wanted to do from a very young age, and worked to make that happen, and spent a few years in public school. But having gone to St. Thomas More and St. Pius myself, I knew that Catholic schools is where I wanted to be. So I was able to go back and teach at Thomas More, and then became principal at St. Jude's, and here we are now at the Archdiocese. So Catholic education is very important to me.
And Lauren, what about your own journey?
I'm a product of Catholic education from first grade through my first master's degree. I went to Catholic schools. I also wanted to be a teacher from a very young age. This is my 37th year in Catholic education, 25 of them in the Archdiocese of Atlanta. So I believe in it, and
I'm sorry, did you say 37 years?
I did.
Wow, that's amazing. That's a great, profound commitment.
I think Patty's the same.
I'm a little more than that.
We're younger than we look.
I'm 43 years in education.
Yeah. Right. How about, we talked about your longevity, your history there, but what's a core memory of yours as young people growing up, St. Thomas More, and I think you're from New York, you said, right, or Michigan, you said. What's a core memory that sort of you carried that said, Catholic education is something that I want to put
in third and fourth grade, Sister Claire and Sister Ellen made such an impression on me. I had some health issues, and they just went above and beyond to make sure that I got the content and that I didn't feel less than or a burden to the teacher. It was about me being successful. And it's like, okay, this is who I want to be.
Yeah.
I want to reach out and help somebody. So those two sisters made such an impression on my life.
Yeah, that's beautiful. And how about you, Lauren? Was there something?
For me, years ago, classes were large. I had 60 in my first grade class when I was in school. But each one of us felt special, and just the integration of the faith and God in everything that we did was so special to me. It enriched my faith, and I wanted to be able to do the same for others.
That's wonderful. That's really, really great. I should say, in transparency, my daughter attends Archdiocesan school as well. Shout out to St. John the Evangelist School in Hapeville.
And she is an incredible young lady, so I know she's being formed very well in our local Catholic schools.
And St. John the Evangelist earned recognition for the fourth time as a Blue Ribbon school. Yes. So we are very proud of
wonderful accomplishment.
Rightfully so.
No easy achievement.
No, not at all.
By any means.
Yeah.
So let's talk about an overall picture of our Catholic schools here in Atlanta for maybe listeners who are not at all familiar. How many Catholic schools are archdiocesan, and how many students?
We have 16 archdiocesan schools, totaling right about 7,000, just under 7,000 students. And we have a school in Athens, a school in Rome, a school in Fayetteville, and then the rest of the schools are kind of centrally located in the metro area. 3 high schools. One of those high schools, St. Mary's, the one in Fayetteville, actually is an academy pre-K to 12. It's the only one here in the diocese like that. St. Pius and Blessed Trinity are 9 to 12. And then the rest of our schools are pre-K through 8th grade.
They're doing amazing things down there at St. Mary with the STEM stream and
yes.
STEM. I always Not up on my latest acronyms, but amazing things. What are some of the success stories here? I know we have a new Open Doors program.
We do. We really have just launched into that. Our goal is to be a place for all children, where we can help a family remain in a Catholic school to receive that Catholic education. We want to be able to do that. So some unique learning challenges that we might in the past not have been able to accommodate, we now are working towards making some modifications. We're going to take our time. We're going to do it right. But it's a walk with a family to try to keep a family in Catholic education and serve where we can. There may be an occasion where it's beyond what we're able to do. Every child is a gift from God. It's nothing to do with the child. It has to do with our ability and to make that work for a family. But we are making progress, and we're very proud. We've got 12 of our schools are already actively engaged. We have between 4 schools, we have 6 children already in the Open Doors program. So little blessings all along the way where we can keep a family together.
And, of course, that's in keeping with our church's teaching.
Absolutely.
Yes. Mm-hmm. And it's a blessing for the entire school community. It blesses those children that are not in the Open Doors program as well as those that are. So it's a wonderful example for all of our students as well.
It is an example, for sure, like you said. Also, quick mention of a new virtual academy.
That's our hope and goal.
I'm getting a scoop.
Yes.
You are.
You are. Not been approved yet completely.
Okay.
But we are
determined.
To be determined. We are working on a virtual academy. Would be for students of high school age who don't have a brick and mortar school close by. So it would be an opportunity. It would also open up some options for children who for mental health reasons or physical reasons, whatever the case may be, might not be able to attend a brick and mortar school. And so we are looking at a partnership with Catholic Virtual to open our own virtual academy, hopefully next fall. And just, again, expand our reach and expand what we're able to offer in the diocese.
Well, and it is a big archdiocese, and not everybody can readily get to
Exactly,
a school.
Exactly. Distance is a problem. Brick and mortar schools are expensive to build, and we can't necessarily sustain that. So we figured this was an option that might be able to reach beyond the borders of where our schools sit.
Right.
Is that kind of what happened? I mean, we kind of jumped into new offerings and things that are happening. Is that kind of what happened in, I remember, was it Hall County? Like, was it the expense of that? Can you kind of, because I know I've been here a long time, and many, and equally as you have, that parents in areas of the archdiocese desire a Catholic school.
Absolutely.
So maybe we kind of where are we at all that in Hall County or other places that you might have thought about?
There was a great desire to have a school that would serve that area in Hall County.
Gainesville and Flowery Branch,
and
right?
Flowery Branch in that area. St. John Newman would be the closest, but that's still a great distance down 85. So we had looked at that. But it is expensive to build. Mm-hmm. You've got to buy land. You have to, all the permitting, and then the cost.
Of course.
And to put a burden on a family of tuition and then to pay debt on a building is an awful lot to expect for a young family who's trying to educate 2, 3, 4 children. Yeah. So looking at the cost and then the number of children to sustain, in the present, that might be it. But what does the future bring? What are we looking at? How sustainable is it? And what we have found is it takes 5 elementary schools to be able to comfortably plan for a high school. Well,
Wow.
So that's sort of the next progression. Oh, we built the elementary school, let's build a high school. Well, one elementary school is not going to sustain a high school.
Yeah.
So, we had to put the brakes on it. We worked with 3 lovely pastors and beautiful communities. But at the end of the day, we all decided, while it's our desire and hope, and maybe someday it will happen, right now is not the right time.
Yeah.
Well, growth, and our archdiocese is growing where others in the country maybe are not, presents its own challenges.
It does. It does. And there's a threshold to when we need to be accessible and affordable. And when you can't be affordable, you really have to think about that. And we all have to make life choices, and we know that there are a lot of strings and pulls on families' pocketbooks, and to be reasonable in what a tuition would charge a family, you just have to look at what's sustainable.
And I think we're seeing that on the heels of other dioceses across the nation who had many schools close together and had to close some of those schools for those very reasons. So we want to make sure that we're prudent in what we do so that we are sustainable as well.
I read about public schools that decreasing birth rates.
Yes.
Is that something that you all keep tabs on?
We do.
Is there a ratio or a
we do.
the sense of?
We spend a lot of time looking at data.
Yeah.
Not just test scores, but population growth, birth rates,
Yes.
where people are moving. We look at all of those things. I would say every school is mindful of what's available. And, parents in Atlanta have a lot of great choices.
They do.
Yes.
They've got a lot of great Catholic schools to choose from.
Yes.
If you're in the metro area, you got a lot really close to you. And then there are wonderful independent Catholic schools, and there are terrific private schools too. So we know parents have a lot of choices. So if your birth rate's declining and you have a lot of choices, you have to be mindful, what are we offering? What can we expect, and how do we keep not just the good academic program, but keep our faith and the charisms in our schools, which is first and foremost the most important thing. And how do you serve everyone?
Sure.
But being mindful of the budget constraints, population growth or decline.
Right.
And again, back to tuition. What's affordable?
Increasingly, we have more financial resources. Maybe some parents aren't aware of those.
Yes, we have wonderful financial aid. We have block grant from the Archdiocese for Catholic families. But then we also have Georgia Goal and Georgia Promise. Georgia Goal is a wonderful win-win for taxpayers because it's a direct one-for-one redirection of your tax dollars. And when do you get to tell the state what to do with your money?
Yeah.
So
Nice.
that's great. And coming in 2027, Governor Kemp just opted in to the federal redirection program, and that will be $1,700 per taxpayer. So there'll be another source come 2027. We are so excited about that. And then this past fall, Georgia Promise started. So children who reside in an area where it's a underperforming school have the option to take some of that cost to educate the child in the public school and bring it with them to a private school of their choice. So between all of those options, and then all of our schools have some opportunities for their own financial aid and scholarships. So tuition should not be a reason why someone is not in Catholic schools. Come and talk to us. Let us help. Let us figure it out. Often we can make it work.
Come visit a school.
Come visit a school.
It reminds me, hearing all these choices, it probably would behoove us to give some details in our show notes of where people can find some more information.
Great,
Thank you.
I didn't know about the federal program that's just
that was
underway.
just announced yesterday.
Yes, it was announced yesterday. We are so excited.
Can you, in broad strokes, kind of what does it allow? Is it similar to the Georgia?
It is exactly like
the same.
Georgia Goal and participating in the redirection of your tax dollars in Georgia.
Federal tax dollars.
But it'll now be your federal tax dollars.
interesting. Okay.
So
is it an either or?
No.
Oh, wow.
It's a both.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's great.
wow. Oh, that's exciting.
Years ago, it would count as a deduction on the federal, but now it is actually a redirection. So it's a gift.
Wow.
It really is.
Yeah, how interesting. Well, a lot of information that we're going to have to unpack for our listeners about those options that you said. Yeah,
And it sounds like
that's
some
good.
additional coverage in our print edition might
Yes.
be
Yes, exactly.
might be important to do.
Yeah.
So
You talked about some of the things that distinguish, I guess the term I've heard is value add. Like, what is it about our Catholic schools? Make an elevator pitch, Lauren. Maybe if you're talking to a parent, they have many options. Like what, in addition to the faith, right? There's a lot of emphasis on technology. People aspiring for college or looking beyond. Kind of give me a pitch on what are some of the programs that we have that you think are best in class.
I can always give a pitch as a parent
Very
because
good.
my own children went to Catholic school,
Oh,
and
great.
we are very aware of the sacrifices sometimes that entails for a family. We only get our children for a short time when we can influence them. It might not seem short all the time, but it is a short time as a parent of 30-year-olds. But we get this one chance, and we get this chance to align our values as Catholic parents. There's so much in the world today that doesn't follow our values. So to be able to surround my children with the values that I was teaching them at home and have that reinforced and broadened by the school was invaluable to me. It was well worth any sacrifice. We have such strong, I've taught in many I've taught in different places. And we have such strong Catholic schools here, faith-wise first, always in our Catholic schools, but also academically here. We just some of the things we've already discussed, we try to stay up with things that align with our values, but advance our education as well. So whether it's stream accreditation, which our schools have, Cognia accreditation as a district, we've been recognized and repeatedly at Cognia for accreditation. All of those things are important components, but the faith and the values that you receive as a parent are unparalleled.
So for the unknowing, or for myself, so those accreditations that you
Yes.
talked about, those are organizations that sort of good housekeeping stamp of approval.
Yes.
They tell you that you're keeping up with
Yes.
best practices.
Yes.
And you're forming well-rounded
Yeah.
students.
Cognia is worldwide.
Okay.
Accrediting agency. Back in the day, it was SACS, Southern Association, and then we
Ed.
were Advanced Ed, and now we're with the bigger conglomerate, if you will, with Cognia. And yes, there are standards and benchmarks. We are blessed that Cognia recognizes the value of Catholic schools and allows us to use the crosswalks between what the NESBECS is the acronym, but it's the National Standards and Benchmarks for Catholic Education. And we are able to honor and recognize our faith first. We are Catholic schools first and foremost, and we're not apologizing that we are Catholic schools. But we welcome other faiths, and there's a place for everyone at the table. So using those, it allows us to grade ourselves, if you will, against good, exceptional, state-of-the-art practices, so that we make sure, because our children do deserve the best. They deserve a firm foundation in the faith, but they also deserve a quality academic excellent education. And we've seen that. I mean, our graduating seniors last year, their scholarships were $55 million, and that's not Hope or Zell.
Wow, that's a lot of money.
That's a lot of money between the three high schools. I mean, we are so proud. We just had a student at St. Mary's who made a perfect score on the ACT. So the academics are strong, and our children deserve that. So we do have a rigorous curriculum, and we do have high expectations. But all of that is surrounded by the faith and nurturing these children into who God intended them to be. And we don't expect all A students, but we expect students to do their best, and that means we have to do our best too. So yes, the accreditation is important to us, because it does tell the public we are doing a good job. We are there. And that's why we've loved Blue Ribbon too, because that really was the Good Housekeeping seal. That unfortunately, that program has been suspended. St. John the Evangelist will be the last one to receive it. But moving forward, so another scoop for you.
Three.
Moving forward, NCA, National Catholic Education Association, is launching Catholic Schools of Distinction, which will open up in 2027. And so, I anticipate we'll have a few of those.
We'll have another scoop for you.
Of which we should mention Archbishop President.
He's chair. Yes, he's chair.
Called him president, but he's chair of NCE.
Yes, he is. Okay. Yes, he is. And we are very fortunate that we have an archbishop and a bishop who come from an education background.
Bishop Conson, of course.
Bishop Conson, yes. It just brings a wealth of experience and a love for Catholic education that you were very fortunate to have.
Right. Lauren, I wanted to hear also about leadership development. What does that entail? Just, I imagine some formation, continuing formation for our teachers and other staff members.
And we are forming leaders in our diocese among our staff that we have in our schools. We have wonderful, talented, mission-driven teachers, and many of them we hope will assume leadership roles as well. So we develop them in those leadership roles and encourage them and guide them as to what it means to be a Catholic school leader, whether that is a principal, an assistant principal, a dean, curriculum coordinators. There's many leadership roles. Leadership formation in general in education is important to us. So we are blessed that the Archdiocese supports this and supports us in this role as well. We currently have 36 leaders that came through a principal formation program in our Archdiocese, so we're expanding that as well for leadership beyond the principalship.
Oh, well.
That's amazing.
That is really, really
we could
good.
sing the songs of Catholic education and the good it does for society probably all afternoon.
Yes.
Are there some other success stories you all would like to mention? Some things that students have gone on to do, that teachers are doing right now?
When we hear from our alumni, I am amazed at some of the things that our kids have done, whether it's service within the church, whether it is service to the country through armed forces. Our graduates go on to very successful careers if that's the path they choose. But, I would always tell, when I was principal at St. Jude's, I would always tell our kids, you're smart, and I know you're going to be successful, but what I care about is that you're good and kind. And so I think that when we run into a graduate, it's good to hear their story, but to see their smile, to hear, I'm a parishioner at this, parish, or, my kids are in Catholic school. That's one of the biggest moments of satisfaction when one of your former students shows up with their baby to enroll in kindergarten.
They saw fit to do it for their own children.
Yes, or to receive the high school or the college graduation announcement, or I've gotten a couple wedding announcements. That is such an honor that they would send back to tell me, here's a little glimpse into my life. Those are important.
That they've succeeded in careers and vocations maybe, but also in family life and service to others.
Yes.
Our goal is we'd like to help them get into Harvard, but we want to help them more to get into heaven.
Yes.
And if we can have a little part of that in partnership with their parents, we're successful.
Takes parents too, I'm sure.
Absolutely.
It's a partnership. Yeah.
Well, we thank you both for being here today.
Well, you're more than welcome. Thank you for including us.
And
Yes.
I would invite anyone who's listening to this podcast, whether you're a parent or not, to visit our Catholic schools and just see what we're talking about and see it. If the success is our students and our teachers, so to see that for yourself is amazing. It's truly invigorating.
And the communities that are
100%.
built. We celebrate together, but we also support each other during difficult times. I mean, we there have been illnesses, there have been deaths, there have been births, there have been, reasons for joy, and then reasons to support each other. And I can say without a doubt, that has been found in every school, in every situation. Communities draw so close together.
They're like families.
Yes, we are. Absolutely.
Well, and we advertise many of those open houses in the Georgia Bulletin.
Yes, you do. Thank you.
But I would also direct people to probably archatl.com, where you can find the Office of Catholic Schools page and a school directory and all of that good information.
Yes,
So.
and we have 25 billboards across the metro area. I'm so excited. This is a first for us.
Nice.
Like highway billboards?
Yes,
Oh, wow.
yes.
Something to look for on our commute.
Starting on Sunday for 4 weeks.
Oh, wow.
Come and discover Catholic schools. So I'm hoping that people see our billboards.
Wow.
I'm so
With our
excited.
traffic,
We
you should
encourage
have
them to
a
keep
lot
their
of-
eyes on the road.
Yes,
too.
yes.
Naturally, yes, of course.
Yes,
Goes
be
without
safe.
saying.
Be safe. Yes.
But enjoy. Oh wow!
Yes.
Look out for those.
Yes.
You should have a contest of like I spot where
Oh,
where I
that's a
spotted
good idea.
where I spotted the billboard or
That's a
something
good
like that. Oh, that's
idea.
awesome.
Drive
Yeah.
around and go look for it.
Yeah.
Thank you both so much for taking
Thank you.
part in
Thank you
today's.
for
Thank
inviting
you,
us
and thank you
today's-
for supporting Catholic education and the articles in Georgia Bulletin. We do appreciate it.
Thank you for listening to Bearing Light, and find the latest news at georgiabulletin.org. Find episodes of Bearing Light on the first and third Mondays of each month, wherever you like to listen to podcasts.